beautiful radio listeners. Thanks for dropping in on our little happy hour. We appreciate you listening. If you're watching us on YouTube, here's a hand gesture just for you. You're welcome. YouTubers, hit us up on the chat. If you're listening on the radio through 105.1 FM, the 1080 AM, the 105.1thefan.com, Odyssey.com, the Odyssey app through a smart speaker. Use the fan text line 503-2GO-FAN. That's 503-864-6326. Share your thoughts, ask questions, solicit advice, or answer me this, dear listeners. Do you like souvenirs? You go somewhere, you travel. Case, you're with us today. You're a young man. Do you have tchotchkes and little things that you've collected from your travels around the world?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not a big, tchotchke guy. What I'll do is you'll see me all around wearing different colored Yankee hats. If I'm in a new
I have
city,
seen you wear that.
If I'm in a new city, usually there's a lids inside of the airport. I'll go and get a new Yankees hat if I'm in a new city.
That makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Because you can get them in every city.
I understand that, but you can also get them all online, and it has no connection to the city. Like, if you go to Pittsburgh, you get one maybe that is yellow and black. But if you go to Chicago, what are their colors?
Red and black, aren't they?
Well, that would be the Bulls. The Cubs are blue and red. The White Sox are black and white. The Bears are orange and navy. The Blackhawks, I guess, are black and white and the feather headdress of the Blackhawk logo. So, no, I don't know that they do. Other than Pittsburgh, and there's a lot of navy and versions of teal or green in Seattle, but there is not a consistent color for any city.
There's really... I'd say green for Boston, but
but the Bruins, the Patriots, the Red Sox. See, I
think you're right, but
yeah,
I think
you're dumb.
I think I'm dumb.
And I think you're right. And it's a New York Yankees hat. There are a million. Listen, New Era has done a wonderful job creating hats for dumb people to buy in all sorts of different colors. So it's working. Congratulations to them. I don't know how to feel about you, but really.
I'm starting to think
why do you have a burnt umber Yankees hat?
Wow, I was Phoenix.
I was in Austin. Maybe that works. I don't know. That is a weird one. Now, here's the other question. Do your parents always pick up, more specifically, I'm thinking of my own mother. Do your parents pick you up tchotchkes when they travel?
No, but my mom is a big coffee mug person.
Oh, so she got coffee mugs from where she went. Yeah, I know people have done that because I think Starbucks did that where they put the name of the city on that. It's a thriving industry. The reason that I bring it up today, apparently the plush toys of the Olympic mascots are completely sold out in Milan. You cannot find it. Fans are extremely frustrated. Milo and Tina are the mascots. Milo is the Paralympics mascot, so you will see that they are missing a paw, and Tina apparently is for the Olympics. I was going to say normal Olympics, but that's not right. For the Olympics. So apparently these are disappearing. Can we not just take pictures now and go, look, I was there? You have to have a little plush to go with it. Is that how you represent that you were there?
I think it's just hopping on that Labubu train, isn't it?
Is that what it is?
I think so. Just the fact that there's only going to be so many, people are going to probably resell them, this, that, and the other.
I did hear an ad this morning. I was listening to some Seattle radio. I'm still in the afterglow of my Seahawks winning the Super Bowl. Get it now! Just $129.99. We're only making 5,000 of these footballs. Make sure you get yours. These will be a collector's item forever. My wife and I are kind of on a kick. We do not like stuff. Maybe it's because we have kids who are turning into hoarders and we want to get rid of everything we can. But if it has not been used in the last week, there's a very good chance my wife has thrown it out. And I might be a little bit longer on my timeline, but I feel like we're just getting to the point where we've decided we don't want a bigger house. We don't want more space. We'd rather travel and go do things. And people are like, oh, pick me up something when you're in wherever. And then you look at it and it's all garbage. It's all just stuff that's made in China or somewhere overseas, and then it's
never a
shipped
Fabergé
to wherever
egg.
you are. Yeah. Or one of those delicate spoons. My grandma had a collection of those. I don't know. I just feel like with manufacturing being so accessible to the entire globe, that all these little things, even if they're handcrafted, seem to have less value to me. I don't know, maybe it's just me.
I think the handcrafted stuff that like has some sentimentality, because
Yeah,
I
but then
know
you-
that
but
if I
sentimentality, yes, but you're like, this person I met for 19 seconds while I was at Lake Titicaca made this thing that they hand weave themselves. Oh, cool. What was their name? I don't know. It's hard to
yeah, I
pronounce.
couldn't tell you.
Yeah, it's not like if you spent like a month with somebody traveling through the Amazon and they pulled down, these vines to make you, a special tourniquet so you didn't lose your leg. Sure, hang on to that. I just don't get it. I don't get it. But all these people that are spending God knows how much money to go over to the Olympics, they're upset because they can't get a little stuffy.
Are your kids like seashell collectors when you guys go to the beach?
They collect everything. At least once a month, my wife just goes in with a giant garbage bag and takes all of their garbage. But what really gets me, yes, they want to take. We're like, hey, leave it on the beach. That way it'll be there the next time you come. You can play with whatever you want, pick up all the crabs you want, put them in a cup, but throw them back into the sea before we leave. So they try to collect everything. The worst is they go to these little birthday parties and they just, here's a bag of garbage. Congratulations, children. Yeah.
Yeah, but those are always so fun.
Yeah, for 90 seconds, and then they get and just scattered all over your house. Just have like a big bucket that everybody can play with at your house, and then they can throw it right back in when they leave. If you get some good toys, they can just play with those.
Yeah.
Instead of going to Party City and buying a bunch of cheap crap. Come on.
Fair. Very
Let's
fair.
stop making stuff that is terrible. And the only way we do that is stop buying stuff that is terrible. And the only way they do that is if people stop using stuff that is terrible. Fair?
Very fair.
Okay. That's, I guess, the point. So if you're listening, text us in. Do you like that stuff? Tell me that I'm wrong. I'm perfectly happy to hear it. I would love to hear it, as a matter of fact. We talked a lot about the Super Bowl yesterday. I'm sure you can imagine. I'm sure you listened to the show,
Yep.
Mr. Casey Smith. But I wanted to just take a moment because I've not heard a lot of people thank the other quarterback that is responsible for the Seahawks win. Now, Sam Darnold obviously getting a lot of praise, the redemption story. Is he going to get the respect that he now deserves because he's a Super Bowl winner? Whatever. I want to give credit to the other guy that was vital for this 2025 Seahawks team to winning the Super Bowl. Not Drake May, not Drew Lock. It wasn't Jalen Milroe. I want to say a big thank you to Russell Wilson. You won us our first Super Bowl. And boy, howdy, did that trade to Denver not bring in an absolute haul and a literal haul, because one of the 4 players in the Super Bowl was Derek Hall with 2 sacks. That trade got you Bua Mafe. That trade got you Charles Cross. And that trade was a big part of the reason that you got Devin Witherspoon. So your 2 first-round picks, Witherspoon and Cross, integral parts. Charles Cross, I don't think we talked about this yesterday. The tackles for New England were awful.
Will Campbell
in
had
the
a
Super
very
Bowl.
rough game.
Apparently he had a torn ligament in his knee or something. He had an all-time bad game. It was the worst game from a pressures standpoint of any offensive lineman all year. The 2 tackles for the Seahawks played exceptionally well in that game. From the Pro Football Focus grades, I think Charles Cross was the best-rated player on the Seahawks offense. That was part of your Russell Wilson trade. Awesome. Devin Witherspoon wreaked havoc, absolute havoc in that game. He got pressure on Drake May as much as anybody. Had the hit that led to the interception that turned into the touchdown with Uchenna Nwosu. And you had Derek Hall, who was awesome in that game, Bua Mafe. Both had 40-plus pressures this season. So I just want to take a moment and thank Nano Bubbles, thank Dangerous, thank Mr. Unlimited for not only supporting the Seattle Seahawks in their quest for a second Super Bowl championship, but being a huge part of it. So thank you. I know he listens to the show. I felt like we ignored him yesterday.
Gotta give him his
And if
flowers.
you know Russell Wilson, it's always about him. Should we do some In Case You Missed It?
Let's do it.
All right. In case you missed it, Rick Pitino just passed Roy Williams for third on the all-time wins list with his 904th career victory. Even better, he got the record by beating his own son's team at Xavier. Rick is now 5-1 coaching against Richard. The good news for Richards is he'll have plenty of time to get those wins back, mostly because the senior Pitino has no intention of retiring and is clearly a member of the undead. Is that so? He'll be going till he reaches the top of that list, and then for another century or so beyond that.
Yeah, he's got to be one of those dudes who, the second he stops working, we lose him.
Oh, absolutely. But doesn't he look like he died 3 years ago? A little bit. Yeah. Just held up with like sticks and glue and
looks like he's seen the Ark of the Covenant.
Yes, very much so. In case you missed it, Lindsey Vonn says she has no regrets after a horrific crash in the 2026 downhill resulted in a complex tibia fracture, effectively ending her Olympic comeback. Most experts say there's no way we'll see her in France for the 2030 games. But I wouldn't count her out. Sure, she'll be 45 years old, but remember, those titanium knees will only be 4 and 6 years old, respectively. So if she replaces enough body parts, does that average out her age to mid-30s?
I think it could.
Yeah, there you go. In case you missed it, skier Breezy Johnson managed to break her gold medal just after winning it by celebrating. Apparently, the Olympic medals are very fragile because they are now designed with a safety breakaway mechanism to prevent choking. Think about it. These athletes just launch themselves off a mountain at 70 miles an hour, but the IOC is worried they're going to strangle themselves with jewelry. Wait. Did David Carradine ever win a gold medal? Maybe that's Kung Fu, an Olympic sport? I don't know. No? I checked the internet. I was like, who's the most famous? Okay, he's the most.
The fact that it's a choking hazard, like a child's toy?
Yes, very much like a child's toy. How many times does it happen? Like, show me the incident reports of everybody that became their absolute pinnacle of their sport, won a gold medal.
Again, Lindsey Vonn, mid-40s by the time that she's going to be in the next Olympics.
Yeah.
Then you have Breezy Johnson, who's, again, my age. These people are adults. Yeah, and the Olympics is finding a way to treat them like kids. I
think they're going to be fine. In case you missed it, Norwegian biathlon bronze medalist Sturla Holmlund, I don't know, just admitted to cheating on his girlfriend during his live post-race interview. He literally said, and I quote, "I met the love of my life and cheated on her." Honestly, I get it. It's going to be hard for a biathlete to stay faithful when there's twice as many people to cheat with. So maybe that's... Biathlon, that's the one where they ski with a gun, right? I just hope she wasn't a member of the women's team. That can't be. Honestly, I don't want to make fun of it. He sounded really sad. It's just a good thing they have that safety breakaway mechanism on the medals, so we don't have to... Biathlete. No, you don't like that one? In case you missed it, San Francisco 49ers defensive end Keon White was shot in the ankle outside a party following a dispute with rapper Lil Baby. Police have finished their investigation. The official cause? A power substation near the party. So...
I like that one.
Yeah, is that good? That was one for the people that get it. We'll love it. The people that don't, who knows? This one is really, really dumb, and I expect you to groan at this one. In case you missed it, Jason Tatum practiced with the G League Maine Celtics as he nears his return from torn Achilles. Wait, the G League's team is the Maine Celtics? Wouldn't Boston be considered the Maine Celtics? Yeah, see? Told you it was terrible. I knew it was bad when I wrote it, but it was so bad that I felt like there's probably one guy out there listening to this program right now that absolutely loved it and can't wait to tell his kids.
That's a good one.
So, okay, all right. In case you missed it, players are accusing the Utah Jazz of tanking, and head coach Will Hardy isn't even denying it. But honestly, man, isn't that like the entire point of jazz? It's about freedom and raw expression and being unapologetic, man. They aren't losing games. They're just playing the notes that aren't there. It's an experimental season, and man, you just don't get it. You're looking at the scoreboard. I'm looking at the vibe. Also very stupid. And finally, couple more. In case you missed it, Brandon Ingram is officially replacing Steph Curry in the All-Star game due to Curry's knee injury. Cool, so we've officially reached the phase of the season where it's, oh yeah, I remember that guy. He still plays part of the All-Star selection.
Oh yeah, he's around.
Yeah. What'd they do? Trade him to Canada? Turns out they did. Yeah, there you go. And finally, in case you missed it, a brother-sister duo, Isabella and Rasmus Warner, won the mixed doubles gold for Sweden in curling, beating the United States. It's the second huge win for the pair. Just last month, they won the most Swedish-looking Swedes in all of Sweden. So congratulations to them for both victories. Tough loss for the Americans, who work full-time jobs as a realtor and a lab tech. Meanwhile, both members of the Swedish team work as background actors at Sweden's premier Frozen theme park. Apparently, the entire job is just curling in front of the park's ice castle to provide atmosphere to tourists. So they're very, very... If you've not seen a picture of those two, please pull it up.
I will.
And tell me you don't get the feels of Arendelle and some lost kingdom of Nordic lore. All right. That's your In Case You Missed It. We'll let Casey look things up on the internet. I think that he agrees based on his facial expression.
I agree.
Okay. 2:30, we're going to do play-by-play back. That's where Casey is going to grab some sports audio from the weekend that was. We'll play it back and see what it means for the future. But right now, we need to figure out what the plan is for poor Will Campbell, and we have the words of Mike Vrabel to tell us what it is. You'll get that in the Daily Buzz. It's next on Happy Hour. This is 105.1 The Fan.
Plan
Here's your host, Luke Anderson.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's dive right into things for you. Who could the Seahawks be looking for as their new offensive coordinator? Well, with Clint Kubiak added to the Las Vegas Raiders, the three biggest names that have emerged for candidates within the organization are Justin Otten. He was an OC with the Denver Broncos in 2022. He has experience calling plays, but he is also considered the front runner because he has been great as the run game specialist. That was the thing you were waiting for the Seahawks to get right as the season progressed, and obviously the running game was critical to the wins down the stretch and then the playoff run as well. When you have a running back win the MVP, guy must be doing something right. Jake Peetz is a passing game coordinator, also considered a strong candidate, one of the few guys that was a carryover from the Pete Carroll staff. He was there with both Sam Darnold and Geno Smith. Was an offensive coordinator at LSU back in the day. Andrew Janko is a quarterback's coach, and people love him, but it sounds like he might be on his way to go with Clint Kubiak to take over the OC position with the Raiders. External candidates just to look at: Brian Callahan, Arthur Smith, Hank Fraley, who was the offensive line coach with the Lions, but was one of the finalists before Kubiak was hired last year, and then Mike Kafka, who was the Giants OC and interim head coach last season. I don't know if any of those names blow my skirt up on the external list.
I would love if you guys got Arthur Smith.
Oh, he's right now. He is the OC with Pittsburgh, but apparently there have been conversations all the way back to 2024 with him. So that would have been one of the candidates when they hired Ryan Grubb instead. So, yeah, not doing a ton for me. But, you know, I can't imagine that anybody's excited to work with Aaron Rodgers for another year. So,
Again, McCarthy, he's loading up on as much offensive coordinators, again, coaches as we possibly can have. We just got Brian Angelico.
yeah. Well,
That's
time.
all I got.
Time will tell.
The Buzz.
Hey, nice win for the Blazers. They used a 49-22 third quarter to run away from the Philadelphia 76ers. Record night for Toumani Camara last night. Career high 30 points. He shot 8 of 10 from 3. I mean, if this guy turns into like the true 3-and-D guy that he appears that he can be, that is one of those trade assets that you do not let go. You figure out how to build not around him, but just keep him on this roster as long as you possibly can. Joel Embiid did sit out for rest, making things a little bit easier for your hometown Trailblazers. Denny Advia added 26 points. Scoot Henderson, 12 points, 7 assists. The assist numbers since he's been back is really, really nice to see.
Yeah,
just last Friday, 9 assists to go with, just a nice performance all around. Playing great defense, playmaking on offense. So far, the early returns on Scoot coming back are very positive.
Yeah, the playmaking ability has been really special.
Well, that's what it was supposed to be, right? That was the reason that, everybody was touting him as the natural pick at number 3 when you don't have Wemby and, Brandon Miller goes to Charlotte, I think, at the time. So, so far, so good. Of course, you don't want to miss a guy for, the first 45, 50 games of the season every year. But, yeah, if he can turn into a playmaker and you get shooting from Toumani Camara like that,
they're going to be a tough team to beat.
Oh, well, you hope so. Sometime sooner rather than later would be awful nice to see.
The Buzz.
All right, so every time you take a breath, the Major League Baseball programming forecast for next season changes. So now ESPN is officially taking over Major League Baseball television out-of-market streaming. So that includes, any out-of-market games that you want to see that you would normally get just by subscribing to MLB TV. Some good news, I guess, if you're already subscribing to ESPN networks for $29.25 a month, you'll get a small discount if you add MLB TV to that package. Can we just stop with all of this? I watched the Super Bowl on Peacock.
Yeah.
I don't want to be doing that. You watch football games on Christmas Day on Netflix. Can we just figure out a way that Maybe we have ads pay for the programming that we're seeing. We don't have to spend another $150 to add everything on and figure out which streaming service is on. I know this is a consolidation.
What's the point of commercials on broadcast television anymore?
Well, I'll tell you, it's hard for me to understand that model. There is still some avenues to get like the big networks through an antenna and through of all that. I get that, but ESPN has been a premium product, and they have just as many ads as anybody else. They're making a ton of money with the college football playoff, and now they own some part of Major League Baseball TV. We've got a month, and then we're going to have to figure out how to watch all these games. Hopefully it works out. Root is no longer a thing, but the channel is still supposed to be good to watch Mariners games in the local area. If you have the channel that was Root, it'll be black until it gets to pregame. Then it'll go dark again after the postgame show. But apparently that's supposed to be there, and there's changes to the audio with this, and there's changes to everything. So just when we get to the season, I better be able to watch a stupid Mariners.
The Buzz.
So I mentioned this briefly earlier. Will Campbell, the left tackle for the New England Patriots, apparently played through a torn knee ligament throughout the entire playoffs. Of course, he allowed those 14 pressures in the Super Bowl. 6 sacks, 11 QB hits that the total offensive line allowed for the Patriots. But Mike Vrabel's come out and said, listen, he's 22 years old. We are not moving him to guard. We are not moving on from him. He's going to get it figured out. You got a young guy. I know there's reports that his arms are too short to play left tackle or whatever it is. But it sounds like the coaching staff and the team believes in him. And who knows if this Patriots team learns to grow from this experience or is one of those teams that shows up in the Super Bowl, turns around and has a terrible season and disappears into the ether. But they're going to stick with Will Campbell. We'll figure out if that's the right move when we get into next season. And they actually have a first-place schedule.
Yeah, and it's honestly a little bit ridiculous because he went up against the best D-lines in football 3 games in a row.
You're not wrong about that. And he did it with a torn ligament.
beat up.
So, yeah, of course. And if you want the coach to be, February 10th, to be like, yeah, we're completely done with this guy. Why would he go out and do that? Even if he's thinking in the back of his head, yeah, we're probably moving on from this guy. If you don't have a better option and that's your only guy when it comes around to it, he's really not going to appreciate the fact that you threw him under the bus 2 days after the Super Bowl.
And those are the messages you send to the rest of your locker room the rest of your first-round draft picks.
Amen to that.
The Buzz.
The Tigers are now spending somewhere around $100 million on their pitching staff because they just signed Justin Verlander to a 1-year, $13 million contract. It'll be his 21st season. He's going to be 43. He has 266 wins. That's great. Now you have 3 guys on your starting pitching staff that make more money than the rest of your entire pitching staff. And if you count Verlander in there, I think it makes him older than the rest of your entire pitching staff combined. So congratulations, Tigers. You did it. You re-signed Justin Verlander. It's full circle. What a redemption story. The way they've handled this entire offseason, we're not going to pay Tarek Skubal, and then we're going to go out and way overpay for Framber Valdez, and then go back and get Verlander. It leaves me scratching my head. We'll see what they end up doing, but who knows? They made one of the more bizarre moves I've ever seen where they got rid of everybody and still made a run to the playoffs, so maybe they know something that we don't. With that, let's walk over to the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, and you can tell me what we do.
First on the fan, Ilya Malinin has just taken the first overall spot in the men's qualifier for figure skating.
Let's go,
Ilya! If you want to
that?
take up the time, I recommend looking him up on Google.
What's the name?
Ilya Malinin is his name, because he shows a strong resemblance to former figure skater and star Jimmy McElroy. You may know Jimmy McElroy from his intense rivalry with Chaz Michael Michaels, the former bad boy of figure skating.
You know what? I'm getting the side-by-side here on the images. And yeah, I don't know that we're too terribly far off from that. The hair is definitely similar. I'll tell you, the visuals that you get from the Winter Olympics are so fantastic. We start with curling, which looks like an office party just moved out to the ice and made up a game, which is wonderful. You get the downhill skiers. I'm watching the biathlon right now, and you've got, guys cross-country skiing with guns on their backs. You get the beauty and grace of figure skating. You get guys laying down on sleds head first, feet first, going down a ice tube 1,000 miles an hour. And you get hockey, which is already a weird sport. The whole thing, the visuals you get in the Winter Olympics, there's nothing that can compete with them. It's fantastic.
I do got to say, I will be very excited in the next few years if we do get a rivalry between Malinin and whoever the next bad boy.
There's got to be a Chaz Michael replica out there somewhere ready to get into a rivalry with Milinen.
For more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the firm
Ah, it's my practice dog, sorry. Oh,
Kalani in the backfield now. Play fake to him. Sam stops, looks, throws, got a man wide open. Touchdown, Seahawks! It is A.J. Barner.
That was Kevin Harlan on the A.J. Barner touchdown.
Steve Vrabel. Was that Vrabel?
I believe that was the Kevin Harlan call.
Oh, okay. Okay. If you say so.
I've got a little bit of a trivia for you.
Oh, yes.
With a little bit of
Let's do
NFL
it.
QB history.
Let's see what we can do.
Sam Darnold became the 4th QB ever to have played for the Jets and won a Super Bowl as the starter.
Okay.
Can you name the other 3?
Joe Namath. As a starter, who else played for the Jets? Did they play before or after they won a Super Bowl?
Either.
Oh, yeah, see, now that's where it gets a little tricky. Aaron Rodgers did, so that was after, right? And Brett Favre.
Also, Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco did. So there's 4 others. Oh, I thought you said 4.
Others.
I was going for 4 total. Yeah, so a couple Green Bay Packers, and of course Joe Namath winning for the Jets. So okay, all right.
The NBA in fouls per game. Clearly, fouling is not a problem for a good defensive team. And Duran is fouled, and oh my goodness. And Moose is upset. Moose is really upset. I have never seen Moussa Diabate like this. Goodness, now Miles and Duran and Beef Stew. This is out of control. Oh, wow.
That was last night's Detroit Pistons Charlotte Hornets brawl where 4 players received ejections, and by the end of the game, Hornets head coach Charles Lee got tossed as well. My question for you is basketball or just sports in general, are they better when we get a little beef like this?
This is a 3rd or 4th fight we've had in the last month. There was another fight between the Hawks and Timberwolves last night. We had the one where the Pelicans and the Suns, you had Jose Alvarado throwing punches at a 7'1" Mark Williams. You had another one. I feel like there was another one in the
Isaiah
NBA.
Stewart going after LeBron James early on.
Oh, there you go. Well,
that might have been last year, though.
Either way. Yes, it certainly makes things interesting. You never want to see things get out of control. But can I tell you my absolute highlight of that whole brawl? Duncan Robinson. Oh, my gosh. That guy wanted nothing to do with that melee. He looked very much like Will Ferrell, like, what do I do with my hands? He was just kind of roaming around out there and wanted no part of that beef. I don't think he's going to be allowed to play for the Pistons anymore. Like, the bad boys will just go and extract him from the team, take his jersey, dress him down, like Rodman and Bill Laimbeer are going to show up and go, give me your Pistons card, you're out.
Again, they love Isaiah Stewart, but Duncan Robinson there. They might pull the card.
It was fantastic. If one of those punches connects in a hard way in those NBA fights, I can't imagine what damage it would do. But the funny thing is, NBA punches never seem to land hard.
Only Jermaine O'Neal.
I don't know if it's the length. I don't know if that was on another player. If they start swinging at fans again, I think those will start landing. But you never see them land in those fights, and probably a good thing. We've also had 2 goalie fights in hockey over the last month, which those are fantastic.
With the last shot of this game and a chance to lift the Americans through to play for gold. Team USA trying for 2 and the win.
Curl, clean.
Clean is the word you want to hear.
Clean, yeah. Oh.
Oh, it's
TC to a T for Team USA. And the Coreys roll on to play for gold.
This is the clip from yesterday's U.S. doubles curling semifinal.
So as I'm listening to this, I'm immediately thinking that curling might be the best radio sport out there. But I'm also watching this biathlon, and I don't know who this dude is. It looks like some Norwegian coming in to the finish in the biathlon. He has so much snot and, like, I don't know, runoff around his mouth and
Frozen
nose.
everything.
Just it is. There's like a 1.5 inch, 2 inch, just phlegm dangle hanging from his face. The Winter Olympics never fails to impress. It's so fantastic. If you would like to go and see the visual of that, I'm sure you can find it. But that dude is not worried about appearances as he finishes, just trying to catch his breath.
The curling final was earlier today. Unfortunately, Sweden took home the gold, but the U.S. did take home the silver. But it got me thinking, is curling the next pickleball?
Ooh, no, I mean, it's the next cornhole, but it's been around longer. So pickleball is accessible because you can set it up on a driveway or a tennis court, and all of that is around and very easy. There is a curling center, the Evergreen Ice Center or whatever it is locally around here. We've talked about going to that thing for years and never made it out. As much as I would love to go out and start curling, I think you get a big advantage if the pond in the backyard freezes every year. So pickleball does not require such, but I would love to go and give it a try. How many times do you think you fall down if we go curling today?
Many. I can't ice skate, so.
Well, it's not ice skates. You get
Either
your
way.
special little shoes.
Either way, it's slippery on the ice, and I'm gonna go down.
Yeah, not working for you. I would love to. I would love to try curling. There's a place locally. I know where it is. I've looked it up before. Still haven't made it. So no, I don't think it's catching on.
Now that I know
anytime
it's
soon.
there, I think I'm gonna go.
Well, listen. If anybody from the Evergreen Ice Center curling, whatever it's called, is listening, and you want to invite the fan out there, we'll take shows on. And if Rust wants to go with the firm, I'm happy to have you on my team. Let's do it.
I'm there.
And here are the splits to keep your eyes on to move into the lead. 17.5 seconds is the current lead split, 17.47. Anything in that range, these two women are in the hunt.
This crowd is about 80% wearing orange, and they have been coming to an absolute timber over the last couple of pairs. Watching Femke Kok build the lead, and it remains the lead, though Takagi and Leerdam are within striking distance.
This lap is make or break for Jutta Leerdam. She wins this race by her top speed. She doesn't always have the best kick, and what we saw from Femke Kok was an unbelievable finish, a very atypical finish for her. Look at the gap she's starting to open on the Japanese skater.
Leerdam hammering this middle lap. She's well out in front of Takagi, and she's ahead of Femke Kok's pace.
She made up a ton of ground from that opening split. She went from about a 10th down to a 10th up. Now we'll see, can she hang on? This last 300 meters has been a challenge for her. She's dropped both arms trying to push herself across the line.
This has been Jutta Leerdam's race over the last Olympic cycle. Can she seal it with Olympic gold? Leerdam around the bend, heading to the line. Jutta Leerdam wins gold!
That was Netherlands' Jutta Leerdam breaking the women's Olympic speed skating record. And
Congratulations.
gold at the event.
The Netherlands in the velodrome on the bicycles and then in the speed skating rink, they dominate. They're awesome.
Internet went crazy.
Of course they did.
Because do you know why?
I do know why, actually. I caught a little bio on this young lady. She happens to be engaged to Jake Paul. Just when you want to like somebody, they go and do something like that. And, Jake Paul, get an American. Wait, no, I mean, young lady, don't engage. Wait, I don't know. I don't know who's worse in all of this. But she also set the record, I think, for the most makeup of any speed skater as well. So congratulations to her. She's a great athlete, and she hasn't made herself famous by, beating people that have never ice skated.
Mitchell to inbound from right in front of us. Harden now. Leaned on by Hardaway. James Harden goes to work. Step back. Back down. Nothing called. But Harden buries the three. And we're tied at 117. He got fouled.
That was James Harden hitting a game-tying three last night as he's now with the Cleveland Cavaliers. They went on to beat the Denver Nuggets in a very narrow game. I think the final was 130 to 1. Again, it was a 10-point game.
Dynamite job there, Monty.
But I know that the last time we were on here, we kind of destroyed James Harden a little bit just because he's a little bit unlikable.
Well, no, we destroyed him because he doesn't show up in the playoffs. Remind me, was this a playoff game?
No, it was not.
Okay. So are you going to put up big numbers and make big shots in the regular season? Cool. Good job, James Harden. Good job, Cleveland Cavaliers, for going out and getting him. You made it to the Eastern Conference Final and were a dog breath away from making it to the finals. And if James Harden is your answer to take you over the top, I'm happy to be proven wrong when we get around to the NBA playoffs. One of the better tournaments in sports. I love the NBA playoffs. The regular seasons are not the same thing, because right now it is middle of February and none of these games are all that important, because more than half the league will get into the playoffs or play-ins and have a chance to take a run at this thing. And if that's your answer to get you over the top, good luck.
Final in that one was 119-117.
There you go, 130 to something. Pretty good breakdown before. I kind of like that one.
At the Blazers.
I like that one a little bit better. All right. We're excited. Everybody loved the halftime show. I don't think there was any criticism of it whatsoever across the whole land. I've got the betting odds for the 2027 Super Bowl 61 halftime show. We'll do that when we do one more for the road. This is Happy Hour on 105.1 and the Fan Sports Network. All right, Mr. Smith, what are the people saying on the YouTube chats and the text toy?
People are saying that we should have also thanked DK Metcalf as we did Russell Wilson.
You know what? I did mean to thank him. He gave us Nick Eamon-Worry, so 100% true. The combination of Russell Wilson and DK Metcalf was going to be the future of the Seahawks. Everybody's very excited, and it turns out they were the future just by getting rid of them and bringing in players, that aren't boneheads.
And then someone else said that Arthur Smith is apparently going to take the job as the offensive coordinator at Ohio State.
Oh.
Has yet to sign his deal.
Well, if he's going to, we'll wait until he actually does. But like I said, those were the names that popped up, but it did not, like I said, get me very excited when I was like, oh, Arthur Smith, that sounds like a pretty good idea.
Doesn't excite me.
This will be the third offensive coordinator in 3 years for the Seattle Seahawks. So you had the Ryan Grubb experiment that did not go great. Clint Kubiak obviously worked out pretty well, but you have two quarterbacks in that time. The one thing about Sam Darnold is he understands that, hey, systems are going to change, and I need to figure out things as you go. I mean, leaving Minnesota and coming out to Seattle didn't seem to miss a beat, and as the team gelled around him, obviously the results speak for themselves. So I'm not too terribly worried about the switching at just one of the offensive or one of the coaching positions, because you have continuity. Another thing, one other note, Leslie Frazier is the assistant head coach for the Seattle Seahawks. He set the record for the longest gap between Super Bowl victories ever. He was a backup cornerback on the 85 Bears, so 40 years between winning a Super Bowl as a player and winning one as part of the Seahawks coaching staff. So there you have it.
Bears fans just really love to hear that one.
Oh, they love. Oh, Jeff Fisher was part of that team. He was on injured reserve, but he was part of that team. So there you have it. Anything else that we need to address, young man?
Not that I can see.
Let's do. All right, so we need to figure something out. There's a couple questions that go around this. One, who would you actually want to see? And more importantly, who do you think will piss off the most people? So we already have early odds for who will be the Super Bowl 61 halftime show. The leader in the clubhouse right now. Tell me what you think about Miley Cyrus halftime show. Is that going to upset enough people? I don't know if it will.
No, I think that would be an electric performance.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you think she would come out as Hannah Montana for anything, and would her dad join her on stage? Would they boot, scoot, and boogie?
I think they could.
Yeah? Is that the one? Is that his song? Did I get that right? I don't know if that's even right.
No, that's not his.
Okay. What's his? Achy Breaky Heart.
Achy Breaky Heart.
There you have it. Cardi B is number 2 on this list. If Stephon Diggs is in the Super Bowl, I think that makes it more exciting, yeah?
I mean, we already saw Shakira and J-Lo. What does Cardi B have to offer?
I couldn't tell you. I mean, I don't know. Taylor Swift, number 3 on the list. I think that's probably going to be universally beloved, so we can't do that. I mean, it'll upset all the people that get upset when they're like, oh, my God, did you see that 11 seconds of game time was used to show her in between plays when Travis Kelce caught it? Those idiots will be upset, but there's nothing you can do to please them, right? So go with that. Lil Wayne on the list.
I think he was projected to do it this year.
Okay.
But also, I don't think he sells enough concert tickets.
Is that the...
I think that's the conversation.
So I believe it costs money for the performers to do the halftime show. They actually make the investment to go on there. So it's usually part of a big publicity thing, right? And so they want to, share their music with the world. It's the largest audience that you're going to get. So it's not something that the NFL is going out there and actively looking for people. This is a setup. What is it, Rock Nation? Is that the...
Yeah, that's Jay-Z's. Yep.
They're the production company that puts it on. They do all the selection. They do all that. A$AP Rocky is, number 5 on the list. Do anything for you?
I don't think it would be a great performance, but he's got a lot of great songs in his catalog. So
Okay. Justin Bieber. Come out in his underwear again like he did in the Grammys? Is there a big cross-section of football fans and Justin Bieber fans?
See, that's the issue is what's he going to play that's going to excite football fans at halftime?
Well, I don't think anything. I don't think you have to worry about the football fans, right? I mean, there's always some excitement with, certain acts if you go out there and play it, but it's never going to please everybody. And I don't think you go, oh, let's make sure we get the football fans. What happens at my house is everybody takes a little break from watching football and that doesn't want to watch the halftime show takes a little break outside. And then the people that are interested in the halftime show, they move in, takes our spot on the couch, watch the halftime show. They don't care about the second half. And we all do a little rotation. That's what we do at my house. So I think
smoke if you got them.
Yeah, there you go. J. Cole, Drake, Ariana Grande, and Harry Styles. Anybody on that list?
I think J. Cole, he just came out with a new album.
Yeah.
It's already very, very good. It's already going to have a lot of success.
But it's funny because as going through this, and I'm glad that you were here today because if me and Jeff Russ did this segment, I don't think it has the response that I'm getting from you. But is it more about having a good catalog of songs or being a great performer and putting on a good show?
I think those are kind of one and the same.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, but if you've got good songs but don't have stage presence and aren't, because it's a spectacle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, I'm sure we'll find out soon enough, and everybody will be mad. Big thanks to everybody that listened. Thank you to Lowercase for filling in. And, of course, thank you, Isaac Ropp. We're done for now. Bye-bye.